I watched Forever, and here is what I thought. So, if you have never heard of this show, Forever is a show where our main characters are Keisha and Jordan. And apparently, they knew each other when they were younger, and then they recently reconnected and end up meeting again at a party. So, after reconnecting at this party, they kind of start hanging out more and more, and then they begin to date each other. So this show really focuses on their relationship between the two of them and how there are some ups and downs in this young love. We see them fall in love, we see the heartbreak, and we see a great show featuring young black love. So that's basically the show. We see these two kids in high school falling for each other and what they're going through during this time of their relationship. So feel free to go watch the show, but now we'll be going into spoiler territory. Okay, so during this video, I'll be talking about some of my favorite moments from the show, and then I'll be talking about some of my least favorite moments from the show. So let's get started. Okay, first, we're going to start with my favorites, and I have to say the first scene we see them reconnect and see each other again, I really did enjoy seeing that little meeting of theirs. As an audience, it was our first time seeing them meet, but as the scene goes on, we realized that they had met each other or knew each other when they were like little, probably like grade school, maybe like first, second grade, very young, and now they're kind of meeting each other again at this high school party. So I just liked the genuine joy they had on their faces. They were just catching up with each other. Our main character, Justin, is a little bit more shy, and it seemed like he didn't know too many people at the party, just the guy that invited him. So kind of seeing a familiar face, we got to see how more comfortable he looked and how he began having a good time at this party. But my favorite part about this whole party scene that we're getting is the kiss. So there is a game happening at the party where they're all put their names in like a hat or something, and everyone pulls a name, and that's the person they have to kiss at midnight. So Justin, when he gets to the party, he ends up putting his name in the hat, but that was before he saw that Keisha was at the party and they were talking and having a good time. So when it's time to read off the name you pick and find that person and kiss them, Keisha's like, oh, okay, like, you know, she's like, oh, do your thing, whatever, and starts walking away, and Justin's like, nah. They kind of run off together and like in a little room and hide off away from everyone because he likes spending time with her, she likes spending time with him, and they just want to be together. So they kind of hide while everyone else is playing this game. And then when the clock strikes midnight, instead of kissing some stranger, they look at each other and then they decide to kiss each other. And guys, I was giggling and kicking my feet watching this scene. It was so cute. I love when romance movies or shows have these moments of these like the characters just locked into each other and the chemistry, and in this scene they just go for it. They're like, we just want to be with each other right now, we don't want to be with this crowd, and they decide to kiss each other at midnight. So cute. Loved every moment of it, and it was a great way to start off the show because right now after seeing that scene I was like, I am all for this couple. Okay, the next scene I'm going to talk about is actually the train ride scene, and this scene was definitely one of my favorites. So before this whole train ride happened, Justin was mad and annoyed at Keisha, and they weren't really talking, and he just had a basketball game, and she's trying to like get him to talk to her, trying to like apologize and like, come on Justin, please just speak to me, basically. They end up trying to go to the same place, the same type of party, and she's like, I know where it is, so she kind of shows him where the party is, and they have to take a train. So on the train they end up sharing headphones and listening to music together, which even if the scene just ended there, I would have loved it because that part was just so nostalgic. Her grabbing his headphone, putting in her ear, and listening to music with physical headphones, it was just so cute, so romantic, like early 2000s romantic comedy romance movie vibe, and I loved it. So while they're on the train is pretty empty. It's kind of late at night, so there's not a lot of people on the train. It's basically just them and maybe one other person, I'm not sure. But as they're listening to music together, they look into each other's eyes, and again, that contact, that chemistry, and then they kiss and begin to make out. And guys, the chemistry in this scene, oh my goodness, mouth drop. It was a lot, guys. And I know that train was warm. The temperature in that train rose up when they started making out. but that's also that part of that, like, teenagers in love, like it's just them and they just want to be with each other constantly. And so we saw that, but you also saw this great chemistry and where they really are attracted to each other, and it was a great scene. Such a good scene. Okay, this one might be my absolute favorite scene of this show for this season, and that was the bike ride scene. And I would consider this scene kind of like a grand gesture in a way. So in this scene, again, it's kind of like a makeup from when they've been fighting and haven't been talking to each other for a while. So Keisha kind of messed up with Justin, and so they're not talking at the moment. And she remembered that Justin said that his family always vacations in Martha's Vineyard. So she decides to go to Martha's Vineyard. She has a friend there who's aunt and uncle, I believe, or who has a family that owns a house there. So she pretends she's going there for her friend. Her friend knows the real deal, but her friend's family doesn't know. So Keisha uses that as her in to try to get into Martha's Vineyard to find Justin, to kind of make up and apologize and get back together with him, because she really does care about him. So she's constantly traveling Martha's Vineyard. I believe she's around Oaks Bluff, and she constantly going over there trying to find him. And it's like she keeps missing him, because we see parts where she arrives where he was just there, or she might go somewhere she sees his family but not him. So she's kind of just missing him and not really seeing him. And I'm like, oh, this poor girl keeps missing him, and like, is it gonna happen? Is it not gonna happen? And she continuously rides a bike all over this island to try to find him. So Justin learns that his family saw Keisha when he wasn't there, and that she's asking for him and kind of looking for him on Martha's Vineyard. Justin does still care about Keisha, so he goes out and looks for her as well on his bike. So in this scene, my particular favorite scene is she's riding back to Martha's Vineyard where his family's staying and trying to find him again. Like, this is going on days now. And on this particular day, he ends up doing the same thing. He rides his bike and he begins looking for her as well. And then we see this scene where they're riding their bikes for each other and they see each other and they know it's them. And you just see the pure joy on their faces when they see that they're riding their bikes toward each other, and they're just smiling and so happy. And then when they eventually get off their bikes and meet up, they just embrace in a hug. They're just so happy. Like, Justin's happy to have her back, and Keisha's very happy that he is like kind of forgiving her, and they're okay. Like, they had their fight, but they're okay, and that they're happy to see each other. That scene, just seeing their faces and the pure joy, plus the embrace when they see each other again and are in each other's arms, I loved it. I was just so happy, because honestly, this whole episode, you're like, please, Keisha, find him, make it better. Like, you guys deserve to be each other. You're rooting for her to find him, and then you finally get that reward with them going to each other, embracing, and truly wanting to be with each other. So yeah, those are all my favorites. Of course, the most romantic moments, in my opinion, are my favorites. Pivotal moments, I think, are part of their relationship. And two of them definitely were ones where they were kind of in a fight or argument, mad at each other, and then made up. But making up part was just so good. And how I mentioned that kind of grand gesture that Keisha did, kind of coming to Martha's Vineyard where his family was vacationing just to find him. Like, dude, she really likes you, really cares about you, and she did all that. So I really like these moments. But let's get into my more least favorite moments of the show. So my first one, basically anytime I saw Keisha's ex on the screen, that was my least favorite moment. But I was just so annoyed, especially kind of what he did to her. So he had filmed her and him in a very private moment, and that video had went around, and she ended up leaving that school. He just left a bad taste in my mouth. I know he apologized, he was really sorry, but no. I was like, Justin's a better man, go to Justin. But I especially didn't like that scene. I believe it was at the baseball game. It was Justin's brother's baseball game, and Keisha was there. And his mom and his parents kind of know how he feels about Keisha, but Keisha's mom doesn't know that Justin and Keisha are kind of hanging out or flirting or whatever. So she brings her ex over, but the mom doesn't know what happened between Keisha and her ex. She doesn't know the extreme about it. So she's just like, oh, they're really cute. They just had some little kid fight. They're teens. They'll get over it. They were really good together. So the ex comes and he wants to talk to Keisha alone. So Keisha goes with him, and Justin is kind of watching their interaction. And the ex is kind of like, putting his hands on Keisha, like putting his hand on her arm, and very like intimate, because they were in a relationship before. So very intimate, kind of, they were very close to each other when speaking and touching each other. And Justin was over it. He didn't want to see Keisha even talk to this man. And I believe they kissed and Justin saw it and he was like, I'm done. Like, I really like this girl, but apparently she doesn't like me like that. So he was like, I'm done. I'm over it. And he left the game. And when you see Justin's face while he's watching Keisha and her ex, it was just heartbreaking. I felt so bad for him because he's not the most popular guy. He's kind of like shy, kind of like a little nerd, but he really liked this girl and he thought this girl, who was very beautiful, liked him as well. And after just seeing the heartbreak on his face was really sad. And he did a great acting wise, but definitely one reason why I didn't love what happened in that scene. Great scene, but I just wish I didn't get to see the heartbreak on his face. And my other least favorite part was the breakup between Keisha and Justin. Again, part of the show, so I didn't hate the scene, but I just hated that they broke up. I really wanted them to continue on and go on forever, but of course, that's not real life, and they may have problems in the future, but just for happily ever after sake, I wanted them to just end on a great note. And the show did end like amicable. Like they had a little meeting towards the end of the season after their breakup, and they kind of just spoke, and it was a good talk. They talked it out and it was a good talk, but it was just sad to see them leave and kind of go their separate ways. But yeah, I didn't love the breakup between them. I wish they stayed together, but it is what it is. But honestly, there wasn't a lot to dislike about the show. I just had a really good time watching it. I really liked these characters. I enjoyed watching the families and the different kind of backgrounds and storylines we were following with each of the characters and their families in life. I really did enjoy this show. After watching Forever, I would give it 5 stars. I know, 5 stars crazy. Not to me. I had such a good time watching this show. It was giving me all the romance vibes that I wanted. I was smiling so much during the show. Even though there were those ups and downs, I just had an overall really good time watching this. And one thing I really enjoyed, just specifically because this was a Black love story, was that it was mostly focused on their relationship and not really about 100% being Black and what you have to deal with that. What I mean with that is we didn't really see police brutality, we didn't really see racism or kind of like a struggle about being Black. We do see Keisha's mom struggle financially, but then we do see her eventually get a better paying job and doing better for herself and for the family. But I kind of enjoyed that we weren't focused on those other things. Even though those things are important, I'm glad in this show we just focused around the love of the relationship. Just sometimes you just want to watch a romance and it just be a romance, and I was okay with that. So if you are looking for a show where there is Black romance, but it also tackles more serious issues like those things, racism, police brutality, anything else similar to that that's more serious, this probably isn't the show for you. But if you're looking for a romance and it tackles the relationship and kind of what you're going through high school and those ups and downs and dealing with that, then this is the show for you. So I would say if you liked this show, I would think you might like All American. So All American is basically like a football show, but you do follow around a lot of Black characters, and it's mainly focused on these Black characters. They are the main characters. And we see them going through high school, mostly focusing on their dreams of football. But we do also see relationships and friendships and them dealing with that as well. So you could check out All American. Another suggestion I would say is Grownish. So again, young teens going through school, dealing with the everyday life with relationships, friendships, schools, their future, things like that. So if you're looking for another Black TV show, definitely check out those. I'm going to recommend a movie, and this is not a Black romance movie, but if you're just looking for another romance movie that gives young love vibes, I'm going to suggest To All the Boys I Loved Before. I think that's a great movie, and it's a little bit less serious than Forever, but if you're looking for a romance that's strictly romance, then I would check out To All the Boys I Loved Before. So yeah, those are my 3 things I would recommend. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have seen this show Forever, let me know in the comments what you think, and feel free to leave more recommendations there as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Also, feel free to like and subscribe, and you can follow me on all my socials at ATS_MGO on all platforms. You can also check out my website. I'll link it down below, that has more TV content on there. But I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, week, month, and hopefully a good rest of your year. And until next time, bye.